Oh, have you seen the missiles like held in your hands before?
The what? The
The
rockets? No, I never checked.
oh, you've got to hold it. It's hilarious. Just
It was kind of scary with you running up to me with that warhead out like that.
holding my rocket.
Here, let me throw this.
Red rocket, red rocket, red rocket.
Yeah, this is very strange, dude.
It's like an oversized cigarette. Just
I guess you can't just throw it.
I tried. No, you can't.
I just tried to.
I do have some mines on me though, if we need them.
Oh, nice. Well, I guess that's it for up here.
Yup.
Ow.
Oh, more sofas. Oh, there's more cabinets back here. Do you need water? I just found another bottle.
Nah, I'm cool.
Cool. I'm gonna set up the swankiest zombie nightclub ever.
I do have way too much junk on me, though.
There we go. I think there's a... Oh.
Oh, have we cleaned this place out?
I think so.
Oh, soup. That's handy.
I believe we have. I got 15 sectional middles too, so... It's not
Nice.
getting much better than that. Also got some coffee.
Yeah, you can actually brew that up.
Excellent.
And it, what does it did? Oh, it reduces stamina reduction,
Oh, that's
which
cool.
comes in really handy when you're mining, because you tend to burn through stamina like crazy.
Gotcha.
It used to be a little more pertinent too, because you couldn't sprint as long as you can now without becoming fatigued. So it was also really handy for running long distances, but they've really increased the running distance now where it's not really relevant anymore.
Yeah, I found I run probably more than I should because it's just... Eh.
Yeah, there's very little penalty to it right now, which is another thing. I think if I can sum up my concerns with the development, it's that things keep getting easier with pretty much every release like that.
Gotcha.
You know, in the typical early access game style, you know, where people complain about this or that, so
Right.
it just keeps getting easier and easier with time.
Yeah. As opposed to Better Than Wolves, which just keeps getting harder and harder.
Yeah, exactly.
And we had a
the more
conversation once.
people ask me to make it easy, the more spiteful I become.
We had a conversation once where I, expressed my dislike of continual development games.
Right.
And you pointed out, you're like, well, that's what I do. And
Yeah.
I think my response was just like, but I trust you. That's like the key difference.
But I remember when I said that because I don't think it's a problem that's inherent with early
Right.
access, right?
I think
it's
it's
a problem
just-
with how it's being done right now. For
I think
most
it's a
games.
problem with people not being able to just nut up and say no.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's hard, man. It really is, and I think I mentioned that before. Like, it's I don't think it's particularly natural to first of all be confronted with that many people.
I'm sorry, just you walking around with this handful of blueberries, offering them out to me.
Would you like some?
I said, I'm fine. I just couldn't take it seriously.
But yeah, it's not a natural thing. First of all, to constantly have a throng of people demanding stuff of you.
Right.
And then it's even less natural than to constantly say no to them.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
a lot of people just kind of at their core want to please, and you
Well, yeah, absolutely.
have to get
It's a very human tendency.
right. And like people developing games. I mean, it is a thing where you want people to enjoy what you're developing, but
Yeah, absolutely.
like
absolutely.
I think it's a certain skill to realize I know better than you do.
Yeah. Well, I think in one way you can look at game developers as entertainers.
Right.
Especially with the early access thing, it's almost like you're doing live entertainment, right? Because you're constantly in the public eye, right? It's not like a novelist or something where you go away for a couple of years, write your book, and then receive all the public opinion at once, or filmmakers. Like if you're doing early access games, it's not quite as immediate as being up on stage, but definitely not as far removed from your audience as you'd have,
Oh, it's a lot of dudes.
with traditional game development. Right?
Right.
So I think given that it's doubly hard for people to consistently say no while people are throwing tomatoes at them on stage.
No, and understandable. Oh, so that blue dot was my bag. Okay.
Hey, that's your backpack. Ooh.
I think that's
Do
the
you have
dude that
anything to
killed
loot
me.
in there?
I'm not sure. I had some blueberries.
Oh yeah, you got a bunch of stuff, man.
Oh wow, yeah, I did. It explodes into a swarm of locusts. So, which house were you holed up in over here?
That brick house on the corner.
Ah, okay. Shall we head back towards our home?
Yep, which is the northwest, I think. Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And that's
73 in
still
Coronado.
a lot of ground to cover, though.
I think we're pissing off zombies.
Oh, and there's a Doberman running around. Two
Ooh.
Dobermans. Oh yeah, here they come.
Yeah.
Shotgun time.
Yeah, I'm gonna just move out of your way and let that happen. Oh. There we go. Okay, cool.
And I've got 1 round left.
Zombie
Actually, I have
dog.
Another shotgun.
Oh, there are a lot of mobs coming at us. Just a bit.
I'm just gonna grab the leather off the dog.
Okay. I got you back. Ow.
Ow!
He is not going down. There we go.
Yeah, I think we should just move on here.
I got an idea.
They're coming from blocks around, man. Oh, you can put down some mines? Spoiler. This won't be as impressive as you may have hoped. That wasn't bad.
It's still incredibly amusing to see.
Sure enough.
I've only got 1 left after this one, though. Oh. Oh, he hit it.
Admittedly, that is good fun.
Yup. Oh my god, yeah, there's a lot of mobs. We should probably just jet out of here.
Yeah, it's all fun in games until one of us respawns in this town and ends up accidentally hitting that mine.
Yup. I will feel very satisfied if that happens, I'm not gonna lie. Or
That
if
was
that
like a
hacker
war.
comes
That was
back.
like a war crime according to the UN, man.
You know what? Any game that allows me to commit war crimes is a game I'm
Yeah.
okay with.
You're just leaving undetonated landmines scattered across the landscape.
Yup. Outside of residential areas. Oh, fantastic.
Okay, are we actually headed in the right direction?
I have no idea on that, actually. It's a good,
I think we have to head west.
yeah, I was kind of just going northwest for just a little.
Well, let's hook up with the roads again because that's where all the best loot is.
Okay.
Going cross country, you don't find much.
So these hollows tree stumps. Hey, I found a flashlight.
And I think it's actually easier to survive on the road like this, at least during the day. Because like you saw back at our base, we were slowly depleting everything in the surrounding area.
Right.
Oh, I finally polished off all my blueberries.
I've got 20 left if you need any.
No, it's cool. This venison stew actually provides a lot of hydration, so I'm gonna eat that next.
Fantastic. It kind of makes me think of the one guy in the forums who was talking about how he just ate pumpkin seeds.
Yeah, oh,
Just like-
jeez.
Just, there's something to be said for just, quality of life.
Yeah, exactly. I know I totally facepalmed when I read that too, because I had spent so much time trying to steer people away from constantly using stone tools
Yeah, that
right through various gameplay mechanisms.
watching
like
people do that just blows my mind.
I know, man.
That whole like, I got an iron pick and I will only ever use it for iron from this point on. Like what?
Yeah. Well, and in vanilla with the argument that it's because iron is not renewable. You know? It's just, oh man. Theoretically, that is correct.
Yeah, but when I guess I just play games different sometimes, you know?
Like to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. There's a deer just wrecking that corn.
A fence may be in order. I suspect this was a problem before the apocalypse.
Yeah, why doesn't this guy have a fence?
I think there may be dogs on this farm too. And here they're all stumbling out of the cornfield.
This is somewhat terrifying.
Yeah, there are a couple of dogs actually.
Yeah,
Here
they look
come.
angry.
I may have to bust out the shotgun again.
I'd recommend it.
Except I think they're getting confused by the corn.
Yeah, it seems to be. Corn's a confusing vegetable.
Let's just take out these cheerleaders here.
Oh, we gotta keep an eye out. We got a couple crawling up from behind us.
Maybe we should just go around this
That's a
farm.
good call.
Grab some corn on the way, though.
Yeah. Corn.
Yeah, I'm grabbing a bunch just for if we ever decide to start our own farm.
What is that? I just held E and had this weird hand pop up.
Yeah, it's some weird manipulation thing that I've never quite figured out either. I know it just occasionally annoys me when I'm trying to pick stuff off the ground, and I happen to be hovering over something I can also pick up.
Yeah. These cornfields go on forever, damn. Just leaving a trail of corn behind me. Okay. Oh, there you are. I'd lost you for a moment.
I think it would be fairly safe to go back to the road here. Actually, where are we?
I have no idea. We just need to continue on Coronado.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, let's head back there.
Okay.
I hear a lot of stuff moving through the cornfield.
Yeah, I mean, if you just don't pay attention to it, it's probably not going to come at us. That's how we deal with issues in life. It's what I told B to deal with it when she thought her gallbladder was in trouble, and
Oh boy.
now she's spent a week in the hospital because she didn't listen to me.
Do you have any extra water on you? Yeah, I'm actually getting low.
I just drank it. You have the rest of
no
my
problem.
blueberries.
I'll eat this stew then. It's a bit of a waste on the food side, but it'll fill me up on water. Wow, that stew looks really grotesque in first person. That was scary, man. I think that was worse than the charred pork.
Oh. This one I am going to blame on early access, but man, the inconsistency of, like, textures is mind-blowing.
Yeah. Well, I think
Especially
a lot of it is
sizing.
actually stuff that's for sale on the Unity store.
Oh,
Like, I think they're
okay.
stock models that they may be using as placeholder or what have you. Because I know they ran into problems with one zombie type that used to be in the game that they had bought off the Unity store, and it turned out it was something somebody had ripped off from another game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
So I think they may have gotten letters from lawyers and that kind of stuff.
that's spectacularly fun.
Yeah. Kind of bad news, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's in no way the developer's fault. Eh? It was
Right,
they
right.
thought they were buying some legal artwork, and it turned out no. The seller had ripped it off from somebody else.
I actually didn't realize this was in Unity.
Yeah, it is.
Hmm.
It is.
I'm continually impressed by Unity.
A lot of games now, especially indie games, are using it, man.
Yeah.
Kerbal Space Program, obviously.
Right, right.
What are some of the other ones? I think Space Engineers is using it as well.
Hmm. I played around with it a little just out of curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Yep.
I mean, I, as someone who is not a game developer, was able to very comfortably use it reasonably quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been using it quite a bit with my Kerbal Space Program mod, and
Right.
I certainly got no issues with it, or no major issues, you know. But I'm very whatever when it comes to stuff like that. You know, it's just a matter if it works, I'm happy, you know, and off I go.
Yeah, understandable.
I don't really have much in the way of language preferences and that kind of stuff. It's just, you know, as long as it does the job, I'll get used to it. You know, and obviously looking at games like this, it can do the job.
Yeah, exactly. This is going to be an interesting one to watch, because I feel like it could be phenomenal or kind of fall apart, depending on decisions they make.
Yeah, I'm still torn on that too. There are some new systems that they've introduced that I actually like quite a bit, like the campfire and forging system are actually new.
Mm-hmm.
They've only been added in the past few months, and I thought they were really interesting attempts at making nighttime play more engaging. Because we've been messing around a lot, but there's actually quite a lot to do in the early game at night, which I think is a step in the right direction.
Right.
When you're holed up somewhere, it takes a fair amount of effort to get and time to craft everything you need and that kind of stuff. So I think they're doing a good job there, and that was kind of a step in the right direction in terms of making it more challenging. But then there's the flip side of that, with the number of other things I've mentioned during these videos, where they seem to have continually been decreasing the difficulty, like the stuff with the running and all that I was mentioning, and getting resources from other biomes.
Right.
So at the same time, while I think they're adding some new and interesting systems, on the other hand, I really feel they've done some things that have made the game worse in the process.
Yeah, it's... Fingers crossed.
So how it's going to turn out, I have no idea, man.
Yup. Oh, they took down our door.
But it's still, I still maintain it's the kind of next generation voxel game that I think shows the most promise.
Right.
By comparison to the other stuff I've checked out, like, this is just miles beyond.
You mentioned that the size of the voxels was what made you take them seriously, right?
Well, it was one of the things, you know, when I first saw a video for it. I certainly won't say it's the only thing.
Right. But I remember that being a key point. At least what I took away from your post on it.
Well, it was the first thing I noticed that made me think, okay, these guys are serious. You know, because I watched a video about it, and
Okay, be careful when you go downstairs. I put some barbed wire up.
Unlike 90% of the other kind of voxel game developers out there at present, you know, I saw this video and they had stuck with the 1 meter cube thing from Minecraft, and right away I thought to myself, okay, well, these guys have at least seriously thought about it. Like, they haven't fallen into that trap of immediately, like, smaller is better.
Right.
You know, without really thinking through the nightmare that can actually cause. So, yeah, right off the bat, it gave me an indication that these guys are actually serious about getting the game done and have thought through their design to at least some extent, you know. Because in terms of upcoming games, they're kind of taking the path less traveled by keeping it at the 1 meter cube size. Like, practically every other game, voxel game that's coming out is going for that size reduction.
Yeah, and I've seen most of the games that I had interest in that did that size reduction not come out.
Well, either not come out or end up being really messy, right? Like, Planet Explorers is an interesting game. I
played around with that for a little bit. I entirely forgot about that game.
Yeah, and they are going somewhere, and I do believe it's going to be done, but Man, the inconsistencies between kind of the player creation system and the natural terrain, and the fiddly little voxels, right, that you build all your own constructions out of.
Right.
It's just kind of an inconsistent mess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are some cool things in the game, but as kind of an EverQuest-style RPG, but in terms of being a building game, like, I played it a fair amount, and I didn't really want to build anything.
Right.
Which is kind of bad news in a voxel game.
Yeah, that's... You've done something wrong at that point.
Yeah, anything I created just felt so unnatural, and like I wasn't actually creating it within the game world, that I didn't feel like doing it. And I certainly, like, I made a few very simple bridges for, like, you know, my cars to drive over and stuff, and I had zero desire to actually make them look nice or anything because of that. That inconsistency between the world and player constructions. You know?
Right.
Because the way it ended up feeling to me was almost like you were spray painting on top of the game world, right? Like, kind of like you were performing graffiti rather than that you were actually part of it.
No, I could understand that. It's the other major, I don't know, voxely game, I guess, that I've spent a decent amount of time with. I played Worm online for quite a while.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I've never tried it.
It has positive sides.
Okay.
It is absolutely the grindiest game I've ever played.
Okay, fair enough.
Which is pretty much the only negative I had with it.
Okay.
The buildings were really cool. Like, what you could do with the limited tool set they gave you was pretty amazing. It's just that it took literal hours to build everything.
Okay. Yeah, striking that balance between construction speed and fun,
Yep.
I think, is pretty crucial with these kind of games. And I'm actually wondering, we should start playing around with the building system here, because I'm still debating with myself which end the building system falls in
Right.
for this.
Gotcha.
Because the game actually used to work on just regular Minecraft-style drop-a-block-down building.
Mm-hmm.
And they're transitioning right now over to that incremental construction system I described. And like I said, I still don't know how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm. So when a building that you've built like that, do the zombies like knock it down through the stages to...
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They do. You both build it up and knock it down in stages. So I can't believe you haven't commented on my interior decorating here, man.
Oh, it's looking nice. I like it. There we go.
Hey, that's great. Explosive barrel right in the middle.
That's perfect. I've got so many of these sectionals. Oh, love it.
I got a couple more plants that I need to find a place for.
I think I'm actually going to go ahead and end off this block here, though. The file's getting unmanageably large.
And silly.
Fantastic, though.
Excellent.
I've had, and we still have our stuff to go retrieve from the other, like the southerly area.
Where did I die?
If you go straight down 73, those 3 buildings there, we both died out in front of those.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, so
fair enough.
Something to do next time.
Yep,
that
absolutely.
we can start playing around with the building system, I guess. That'd be cool.
Yep, sounds good to me, man.
Awesome. So I want to thank everyone for watching, and as always, have a great one.